What's up YouTube, Kingler Champ here, and welcome back to the Pokemon Masters United. This is week 4, we're playing against Wombo of the Sacromento Kinglers. He came in and replaced one of the other coaches, so this week, unfortunately, he wasn't able to have a team that he drafted. He just had the previous owner's team. So I didn't have to re-team build or anything, but this is week 4? I think I already said that. But it was a pretty good game. I'm not going to spoil anything, but so he has a Mega Aggron, Vaporeon, Scolipede, Hydreigon, Azelf, and Sandslash. So I figured Sandslash and Aggron, they're both probably going to have rocks. The Scolipede probably has speed boost. Vaporeon's just kind of going to be bulky, so I need to kind of worry about that. I think I brought Energy Ball on both Chandelure and Clefable to deal with the Vaporeon, but it's still a big problem to my team. And then I figured the Aggron would be a big problem for my team as well. So I think I have Fire Blast on my Clefable. But let's get right into the battle. It's actually been a while since this happened, so I'm going to try my best to recap this as best I can. I have like 3 battles I need to recap today, so I'm going to do that. So I start off with my Quagsire. He leads with Sandslash, trying to get some rocks off, so I figured, you know, that's pretty good. So we got Oblivious out here that's just going to stand here while rocks fly at his face. Oblivious goes for an Ice Beam. I don't know why I didn't go for Scald there. I think I anticipated him switching out. But it revealed that I'm a special Quagsire. So he decides to withdraw. Like, this thing has nothing that can do to me anyway. So he switches it out into Vaporeon. So now that I get it for a Scald, it has Water Absorb. And there's nothing that I can really do to this thing. So he goes for a Toxic, and I believe I also went for a Toxic. Just because I wanted to get some damage off on this Vaporeon. Because like I said, I didn't really have anything that was super good against it. Vaporeon's pretty bulky. So I wanted to get rid of it pretty fast. Which is kind of his thought process against poisoning Quagsire. But he goes for a Wish. And I was really confused because, like, none of his Pokemon really have that much damage done. But I'm staying in here because I figured that he doesn't really have anything to do to me. And he's just going to take some poison damage. So he's taking Toxic. I'm just going to keep Ice Beaming him. I know he's going to get health back. I forget what moves I was running. I think I was running Toxic, Scald, Recover, and Toxic, Scald, Recover, Ice Beam. I think that was my moveset. Yeah, that is my moveset, because I revealed all the moves that I had on this Quagsire already. So we're both taking poison damage. It's not too bad. He decides to switch out because he couldn't do anything to me. Goes into the Azelf. I'm not sure what this thing wanted to do to me. Pretty sure I just go for an Ice Beam, and then I decide to switch out because I'm just taking way too much poison damage. Actually, I stayed in. So I stayed in, take a Shadow Ball. I think I went for the Recover here. No, I went for the Scald. Okay, so I remember what happens now. So I go for the Scald on him, hoping to get a burn. Unfortunately, did not. I should have went for Recover or just switched out instead. I kind of just sacked off my Quagsire. I go into Campfire here. The shiny Chandelure. I think this week I was running Choice Scarf on Chandelure. So, I forget what I decided to go for here. I think I went for a Flamethrower. No, I went for an Energy Ball. So, went for the Energy Ball. Anticipating something other than this Hydreigon to come in. Do get the crit with the Special D lower. So he decides to switch out, predicting me to switch out. So he double switches. He goes into the Aggron, anticipating me to go into the Clefable, which was a good choice because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I did. Yeah, I go into Bubblegum. Bubblegum, the Clefable. And he decides to go for a Mega Evolution. I figured that he probably would predict me to switch out at this point. But I ended up having Fire Blast, so I figured I'd go for that. Just see how much damage it does. It doesn't do as much as I'd like it to, but he goes for the heavy slam, and that destroys Clefable. So that's a big threat down for my team. I'm already down 6-4. I'm like, this isn't looking too good. So I go into Campfire. Like I said, I'm Choice Scarfed. Still have the rocks up, so I'm taking a good bit of damage. But I go for a Flamethrower here, and I do end up killing it. Maybe I wasn't running Scarf. Maybe I was Specs. I can't remember. I think I was Scarf though. So he goes back out into Hydreigon, who I didn't really want to deal with. I really wanted to keep Campfire alive, so I decided to go into roll out the Donphan. I do have Ice Shard on this Donphan. He goes for a Draco Meteor. So I figured that's probably decent. I mean, Donphan's kind of bulky, and then I was like, no. So, Donphan's down. Yet again, down. I'm down 5-3 now. So I go into Iron Man. He's going to switch out. I don't remember if I was running Pursuit or not, or if I was just anticipating him staying in. But he goes into Vaporeon. I go ahead and Mega Evolve. I know this thing wants to get a Scald off on me. So I decided to go for a Swords Dance. I figured on the switch, or I figured he was going to switch out, so I just went for a Swords Dance, thinking that that was probably the best option for me to do. He's still taking toxic damage. I go for a U-turn because I just wanted to get a little extra damage off, and I wanted to see how much that would do to the Vaporeon. It does a ton. It does way more than I thought it was going to, so that's good. With the Swords Dance, that definitely helps. So I decided to go into Kenmore, the Washing Machine. Still have rocks up, so that's kind of a problem. I take a Scald from this Vaporeon. He's taking some health back, and I'm like, he's still gonna live this turn, so I don't know what he's going to decide to do here. I just go for a Will-O-Wisp, anticipating this thing to switch out, but it does go for a Wish, which I wasn't sure who that was meant for. I don't know if it was just like a desperate play, like, oh, he's gonna kill me this turn, so I don't want to. I want to get like a hard switch into this Rotom. I don't want to take any damage. So now there's a Wish up in the air, so whatever he brings in is going to take some health back. So he does go into Ezreal, the Azelf, and I was kind of worried about Azelf getting its health back. It is Life Orb though, and luckily I go for the Volt Switch here. And that is just enough to take down the Azelf, and I'm like, oh, thank God. So, we're starting to look a little better. We're taking down some big threats. Azelf, I was definitely worried out. I decided to go into Campfire here because I am Choice Scarf, so I figured I could get some fast and hard damage on whatever he wanted to bring in. So he brings out the Scolipede, and I'm like, okay, let's see how much this Flamethrower does. So, goes for a Protect here, and I'm like, oh man, so it's just going to get Speed Boost. So, at this point, I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well, is it? So, with one Speed Boost, apparently it's faster than me having Choice Scarf, which kind of makes sense because Chandelure isn't the fastest, but when you have Choice Scarf on it, you don't really have to worry too much about it. So, this thing's getting Speed Boost. It's also Life Orb, and I'm like, oh man, this is not good. So I go into Kenmore. I think I was just going to go for a Will-O-Wisp here because I wanted to have his attack, but goes for a Poison Jab, takes down the Rotom Wash, and I'm like, this is not good. This isn't good. Still getting Speed Boost. So I decided to go into, well, I go into Iron Man. I don't have anything to do to this thing. Goes for an Earthquake. Of course, it's faster, and it's Life Orb, so luckily I was impish, so it didn't do that much to me. So I decided to go for a Sword Stance here. I don't remember what my thought process exactly was. But it's still getting Speed Boost. Still going for Earthquakes. I think I had Roost on this. Okay, so it takes me down to 2 HP with the crit. I decided to go for a U-turn here, because I think I did damage calcs, and that was the hardest hitting one. Then Bullet Punch is luckily able to take this thing out. I wasn't sure if it was going to, but the priority worked out. Goes into Sand Slash, so I hardcore misplayed here. I went for Protect. I should have just went for U-turn, because if I went for a U-turn, I probably would have killed this thing. But Sand Slash gets some leftovers HP, and then I go for the U-turn the second turn, and look how much HP it left. I probably would have killed the Sand Slash that turn, and I would have still had a Hydreigon to beat, but it was a better chance of me beating that Hydreigon than, you know, not even having the chance. So, good games to Wombo. That was his first battle of the week. I think he still has a better record than I do. We're currently 0-4, and yeah, I'm looking for a bounce back later in the season, like starting next week, maybe. And like from there on, maybe getting some better battles. But good games to Wombo. His links will be in the description below, as always. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next battle. Peace out, everybody.